We welcome all to the audiobook of Sri Bagavath Ayya's Vedantam book. Let us listen and be benefited by this audiobook. At the reception of this book, Ayya's thoughts are as follows. Reception. Once a Vedantic scholar spoke to me over phone. It sounds as if you are speaking against the Shastra's holy scriptures in your books. Your concepts and Buddha's concepts have the same basics. Many think that Buddha speaks against Shastras. The truth is that the ideas of Buddha are not contradictory to the ideas of Shastras. Similarly, you are also not against Shastras. It looks and sounds something new because you are using words that are different from the ones used in Shastras. Those who talk truth can never talk against Shastras. The Vedantic scholar explained this way. Though we are in touch with the Shastras to some extent, we are not experts in Shastras. Though we have not studied Shastras as a subject, we have understood the crux of the Shastras, and hence we are sharing our ideas that have originated from our experience and research. We have come across many scholars who are masters of the Shastras. We do not think that they have understood the purpose of the existence of Shastras. They appear as if they only exhibit their scholarship. But we do not think that they have attained enlightenment and liberation. You will observe something when you study Shastras. Shastras will make enlightenment and liberation as unattainable things. Shastras will explain in such a way that enlightenment and liberation are impossible to be attained. In our approach, enlightenment and liberation have been simplified. Though many understand this in simple ways, the simplicity itself makes one think, such a simple thing cannot be a great thing. This book is written with the purpose of confirming our understanding. The first part of this book explains the truth articulated in the Shastras in the very words of Shastras. The second part contains what we say in our own words. The third part contains the comparison of first and second part and then elaborates which ones to be considered in what manner. Those who are not interested in Shastras, while reading the first part, should not get confused unnecessarily. It is just sufficient whatever you have understood. Only the second and third parts are important. So, it is sufficient to study and understand the first part to the extent that it helps to understand the second and third parts. Many are trying to preach the truth in different ways with different words. All those have been involved in this mission with good intentions. We understand them wrongly because of the differences in the language and the way they have been explained. Once I had been to Ooty, a hill station in Tamil Nadu, India, to participate in a college camp. That was the first time when I travelled to a hill station. In the morning, I had gone with the other students for shopping. I had also carried a bottle to bring coconut oil. We did not have sachets, plastic pouches in those days. I asked the shopkeeper if oil was available and he said that it was available. I gave the bottle to him and asked for oil. He returned the bottle to me. I did not understand why he was giving the bottle back to me. I asked the shopkeeper again, "Why? Don't you have coconut oil? Do you?" He just answered yes and started continuing with his other work. I was also patient, thinking that it was not time for him yet to measure the oil and give it to me. The shopkeeper took a knife and cut some butter-like stuff, placed in a banana leaf, folded and gave it to me. It was the coconut oil that had frozen into a solid piece. The message is the same here, but it becomes essential to make people understand the truth by giving various explanations depending on the circumstances and merit. Hence, it does not look good if one finds fault with the persons who explain the truth. Approaching with an open mind and with an objective of knowing the truth is the virtue of spiritual aspirants, seekers. A friend of mine introduced to me a physical education teacher who was an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva. In Hindu mythology, Lord Shiva represents the destruction of ignorance. He had been an alcoholic. He had an unusual spiritual experience similar to that of Lord Shiva's darshan, that was like getting bliss from Lord Shiva when he had visited a Lord Shiva temple. From then on, he had quit the habit of drinking and resorted to a life that had total devotion to Lord Shiva. He explained his experiences in many ways. He kept on speaking about Lord Shiva's mercy and greatness. All those were his own experiences. There is nothing to question about it. His speeches were so natural that people accepted that as it is. His eyes used to get filled with tears while he used to explain his experiences due to his intensive devotion. I was not surprised at all looking at his tearful eyes. That was the result of his devotion to Lord Shiva. His gratitude was pouring out in the form of tears from his eyes. The words that came out from his heart fascinated me. But something that he subsequently mentioned made me sit up straight. Lord Shiva is totally blissful. Lord Vishnu is not even close to Lord Shiva in any way. Even when Lord Shiva took the avatar of a pig and burrowed through the earth, he could not see Lord Shiva's lotus feet. He is a shrewd actor. In this way, he started speaking about the powerless plight of Lord Vishnu. In Hindu mythology, Lord Vishnu is the protector or preserver of the universe. It is perfectly fine to have started a life full of devotion after being blessed by Lord Shiva. But why did Lord Shiva land on him? What made him to talk ill of Lord Shiva? Suppose we have reached a boat jetty to get into a boat and cross a river. Our objective is to cross the river by getting into a boat that we like. If we start exploring on the exterior aspects of the boat, such as which boat is good, which one looks beautiful, which one looks ugly, etc., when will we complete our journey? We should be very careful in not becoming scholars who claim their boat to be the best by misinterpreting the ideologies and concepts. We may like a few ideologies and concepts. We should be grateful to those ideologies and concepts and to the masters who have created them. But for that reason, we shall not lose the balance of our own mind. We should not be closing the entry gate of our mind. We should understand and experience everything with an open heart. That is why it is said that it is always better to study the Shastras through a Guru who is an enlightened master. Guru is the dispeller of darkness, a spiritual master. Only when the Guru has experienced the truth, he can demonstrate the knowledge about the absolute reality which has manifested itself in all philosophical ideas. What to do when one does not get blessed with such a Guru? If you start studying everything with an open mind, your mind itself will become your inner Guru and will teach you the truth. My best wishes to you for your successful search and effort.